In the time of the Abbasid Caliph Harun al-Wathiq, who ruled the Islamic world between the years 227 and 232 AH, he had a dream one night that the barrier of Gog and Magog had been breached. He woke up in terror and issued an order to prepare a scientific expedition to investigate and verify the truth of his vision. The Caliph al-Wathiq informed the leader of the Abbasid army, Ashnas al-Turki, about his vision and pointed out a man working in the Abbasid administration, specifically in the translation department, named Salam al-Turjuman, who was proficient in 30 languages. Al-Wathiq summoned Salam and said to him, "I want you to go to the barrier, inspect it with your own eyes, and then return to inform me of what you have seen." He ordered that Salam be provided with 50 strong young men, gave him 5,000 dinars, and provided him with a blood money, in case of his death, estimated at 10,000 dirhams. He also granted each of his companions 1,000 dirhams and a full year's salary. The exploratory caravan was equipped with provisions and mounts, and they set out from the Abbasid capital of Samarra, heading north. They traveled across the lands until they reached Armenia, which was part of the Abbasid state, with its capital at that time being Tbilisi, known today as the capital of Georgia. Upon the arrival of Salam al-Turjuman's expedition, the governor of Armenia, Ishaq ibn Ismail, wrote letters to the kings of the Caucasus and southern Russia, including the important Jewish Khazar Kingdom of that era. When they arrived at the Khazar Kingdom, Salam said, "We stayed with the Khazar king for a day and a night until he sent 5 guides with us." They traveled eastward from the north of the Caspian Sea for 26 days until they reached a black land with a foul odor, and they journeyed through it for another 10 days. Afterward, they arrived at ruined cities, and when they inquired about these cities, they were told that they had been destroyed by Gog and Magog. Finally, Salam al-Turjuman's expedition managed to reach a city called Aikar, where there were farms, which was the area where Dhul-Qarnayn had once camped with his army. The city was 3 days' travel away from the barrier. On the 3rd day, they reached the barrier, which Salam described as a gap between 2 mountains, 200 cubits wide, approximately 120 meters. This passage was the way through which Gog and Magog could come out and spread across the land. Salam continued to describe the barrier, explaining that Dhul-Qarnayn dug the foundation of the barrier to a depth of 30 cubits and built it using iron and copper until it reached the surface of the earth. Then he raised 2 walls on either side of the passage, each wall 25 cubits wide, about 14 meters, and 50 cubits thick, about 27 meters. These walls were made of layers of iron and molten copper, resembling stones or bricks in their construction. Salam confirmed that Dhul-Qarnayn had built the barrier very tightly, so there was no opening for air, and the barrier appeared as if it were a part of the 2 mountains between which it was built. He explained that the barrier reached a height of 120 cubits, about 55 meters, and was equipped with a lock that was 25 cubits high, about 11.5 meters. One of the things that caught Salam al-Turjuman's attention was the presence of 3 guards appointed by the king of the region. These guards would strike the lock 3 times daily to check the integrity of the barrier. They would listen to the noise that came from behind the barrier after each strike, where they would hear loud buzzing sounds, which gradually subsided. Salam asked the guards if they had noticed any defects in the barrier, and they pointed out a small crack like a thread, assuring him that they had no fear for it. Salam approached the barrier, took out a knife and scratched the area of the crack, extracting a small piece of iron, which he placed in a cloth to show the Caliph, al-Wathiq. After successfully completing his mission, Salam al-Turjuman decided to return to Iraq. However, this time, he took a different route through Khorasan, passing through Samarkand, Bukhara, Termez, and Nishapur. During the journey, 22 men from the expedition died while going, others fell ill, and 14 men died during the return journey. The expedition to reach the barrier took 16 months, and the return journey took 12 months and a few days. When Salam arrived at the temporary Abbasid capital, Samarra, he entered to meet al-Wathiq and informed him of what he had seen, presenting the piece of iron he had scratched from the barrier. Al-Wathiq praised God for the barrier's safety, ordered the distribution of alms, and granted each man 1,000 dinars.